Yeah, crispy cream. A very good evening, happy Friday, and welcome along to another calendar season racing event. This is the first CSR Esports event I've had the privilege of commentating on, and I'm joined by my fellow accomplice, Mr. Matthew Connerbeer. How are we doing this evening, sir?
I'm doing very well, Rich, and I'm excited for this one. What a track to kick off this tournament here, the Bahrain International Circuit. We've seen a lot of interesting battles here over the years, and I think we're going to get another one here tonight.
Yes, indeed, and you join us this evening for the ABRC Esport event. This is a 5v5 event, so we've got 5 of the CSR boys going up against 5 of the BHRL Academy and 5 of the DHL Academy. Will DHL deliver? They don't normally deliver on time. That's what I'm used to anyway, Matt. As we get the first movement out of pit lane, let's familiarise ourselves with a few of the liveries. We do have the multiplayer liveries, so the teams can represent their own colours. And we have in the orange and black corner, this is the BHRL group. And in the yellow corner, if we've got any of them out on track yet. Don't think yes, we have. This is the DHL clan. Get a closer look, yeah. Yellow and a bit of orange in there. And then you've got our boys, blacked out, like a Batman thing, ready to give it the full beans. What are we expecting for strategy here today, Matt? 50% Grand Prix. What are we looking at in terms of qualifying around this circuit?
You would expect to be going in there with a sort of a medium hard strategy. The one stop is the way to go around here. We are going to potentially see some people qualify on the softs. They'll then try, if they can, to do a one-stop softs to hards, although that is quite a tricky one to pull off. You're going to be struggling a lot with the tyre wear. The one I don't think we're going to see too many people see is the soft medium strat. It is doable, but it's just not particularly fast. And I'll be very surprised. Unless we get some safety cars at the right time, I'm very surprised to see that one.
Yes, indeed, as we're getting ready for the first laps in anger around this Bahrain International Circuit. Short qualifying format, 14.5 minutes remain. And to kick us off, we've got a few of the CSR boys. And we've got Sam29, new to the ranks, his first CSR Esport event, refereeing the number 42 on his CSR livery, heads down towards turn 1 with the soft tyres on. Now, do we expect them to complete these laps, Matt, or do we think that they may be just going out and getting a bit of a feel?
Yeah, I think these guys are sort of getting a bit of a feel, doing a bit of a bluff. I should imagine we'll see a lot of these guys pull into the pits at the end of this one, or just back off on the run to the line, so that they can put on a set of mediums. I'm very surprised, to only see 2 cars currently with medium tyres fitted out of the whole grid of 15. I would expect a lot more than that. But, we'll see as the session unfolds. We'll see.
Yeah, and with it being such a team event, we're used to having teams of 2. You know, in league racing, me and Matt, we represent AlphaTauri in CSR Tier 1. So, you know, we can play off each other a bit, maybe split the strategy. But now when we've got 5 people per team, I think we're going to get a definite split in strategies. Maybe some people trying to secure, maybe a front row start mat, and others are looking to go longer in the race, just to mix it up a little.
Yeah, this is a lot of new sort of things in this. We have got our first time on the board for Ultimates Feral, a 25.0 on the softs. Harry does complete his lap on the softs, as does Sam29, doing a 24.9. But yeah, with these teams of 5, we're going to see a lot of interesting strategies being played. Some guys will be going soft, some starting mediums perhaps. We're going to see a lot of the teams using the DRS train sort of technique, all trying to get in single file and just follow each other, use that DRS train to save some battery here and there. The other thing these drivers won't have done a lot of before, we've done some esports friendlies up to now, but we haven't done anything with 3 teams in one race before, and that'll be a tricky one for the drivers to get used to, I think.
Yeah, of course, not just one enemy to worry about, but 2. So you don't really want to compromise yourself too much trying to hold up one team. You're going to advantage the other. So Pez goes 3rd. It's currently a CSR 1, 2, and 3. And all on the soft tyre. Interesting to see. Snipes coming out on the softs.
Boom's just gone 7th on a 25.2. Definitely room to improve there. Interestingly, Drive for Eva and Roger Bryan both done a lap in a 31. That's obviously not representative. I think they're going for the medium strategy, don't you?
Yeah. That's just to get time on the board in case anyone maybe does DNF, disconnect from the session, or potentially get disqualified for any reason. And then they've just got a time on the board. Just a bank a lap. So that's coming up to the line is Virtue. He's done a 25.6 on those soft tyres. And let's keep an eye on our champion. He's back-to-back CSR champion, back-to-back HSA champion. He's the man. He's the myth. He's the legend. It's Snipes SB, number 25. This guy, he keeps raising the bar. He keeps impressing us, Matt. We keep throwing everything at him in terms of our league racing, but he just keeps beating everyone. What do you make of this guy?
He just steps it up every time, doesn't it? And you think you're going to have the pace to beat him, and you may well have the pace to beat him. But he's not just got pace, he's got consistency, and that's the key thing. Especially now, because this is not 25% racing like a lot of esports events are. This is 50% race distance. So your consistency is key, and I think that's Snipes' biggest sort of advantage he's got over a lot of drivers, as he's now on his first qualifying lap of the day on the soft comp on tyre. I'm going to see if he completes this lap, if he backs off. 4 of the CSR drivers already set laps on the softs. Will be interesting to see. I know Snipes was saying in the Discord earlier that the medium strat is the way to go. Don't know whether he's sticking to that or whether Maitland's been telling him, no, we're doing this instead, or what's going on, but we'll all find out in the next 10 minutes. Snipes SB through sector 2, coming into the tricky braking zone on the circuit. Lock up on the inside front, not ideal there for the champ. On the throttle, DRS open and blasting down towards turn 11. All of the curb on the entry, swing it in, and get back on the throttle as you now climb up the hill. Past the curb of death on your right. Don't touch it, it'll kill you. Job. Lock up on the inside again as you're braking while turning there. That's why it's so easy just to lock up on the inside front. And now throttle down once again, blasting towards the final corner. And let's see whether Snipes A finishes this lap, and B, if he does, how fast is it? Comes out of the final corner, runs to the line. DRS open. Oh, not open because he's hit the brakes and backed out of it. We have someone going for the mediums on our team then.
Why am I not surprised? This guy loves to do it in the league racing. And again, he's just got a time on the board. Still good enough for 10th for 27.6 as we get our first medium time there, Matt. A 27.2. And that is from Chance Mage 13547. What a combination of letters and numbers. And the BHRL Igor into P8.
Only one car left to set a lap then, and that is LSR Norris. He is currently on a lap on the soft tyres. Now, with 8 minutes left to go, I think a lot of the guys leaving their mediums runs to the end of the session then, because you'll get the better track conditions as the drivers go around. They're laying rubber down, makes the track a bit more grippy, and that should just allow you to maximise your lap time just that little bit more.
So we've got Man in the chat saying, what's up? Can't wait to see Boom's Lidl connection. We've got Dan23, part of the Harry N fan club, and we've got Big Millsy saying, let's go CSR and have a great race, boys. I know Mr. Mills, he's got a few things to say about the CSR lot. I don't know if he's here. Just include your audio in case you want to come up with any one-line comedy gold, then please feel free to do so.
Okay. All good. Everybody has now set a lap time. Alisar Norris just popped it into P6 and has now gone for a spin. Coming out of turn 2, one of the easiest places to do it on this circuit. You've got to accelerate while turning. There's a horrible curb on the inside. It is very easy to do, but Norris doesn't want to be starting the race on those tyres anymore.
No, he's not.
He's nearly
not a fan of those tyres.
Yeah.
You better hope he's not starting on them anyway. Talking of Lidl Boom, I mean CSR Boom, he's on a lap. Currently 8th with a 25.2. And he's just gone around the curb of death. Let's have a look in terms of the gap to the leader. So the top 11 cars separated by under a second. Just over 8 tenths, 0.835 of a second. All on those soft tyres. Then we've got the step to the medium runners. And of course those who have gone for a dummy run. And Boom is invalidated, and we'll nip back into the pits with 6 minutes remaining of the session.
Yeah, that's the real question now. How many of these soft tyre runners are going to switch to the mediums for their final run? We know the bottom 2 will. I should imagine 12th down. Anyone from 12th down is going to go to the mediums. Although saying that, I think one of them has just jumped up on the softs. Yeah, a lot of soft runners, a lot more than I anticipated.
I mean, I don't think it's impossible, softs to hards around here, but it's going to be tricky, it's going to be a bit dangerous. You have to be a bit careful, manage your tyres throughout. And, yeah, pray to God that maybe a safety car rains down at the right time for you. And, yeah.
That's what we saw at the Spanish Grand Prix in HSA yesterday, didn't we? We saw a safety car come out at just the right time for those having to start on the softs, and Drive for Eva has just gone on to provisional pole position, a 1:24.7. Good time.
There's currently a BHRL with the pole position, then CSR, BHRL, CSR, CSR, BHRL, BHRL, and then we've got our first DHL driver down in P8 as Pez moves up to P3, improves to a 24.938. So we've got now 5 cars into the 24s. That's impressive in itself.
Just seen Munjaklar in the chat saying Matt loves the turn 2 Bahrain. Oh yeah, favourite corner on the calendar. I don't do a league race at Bahrain without having a cheeky spin there. You just can't not really, can you? Gotta go say hi to the fans. All about the fans.
The homesick Italian comes up to the line. Oh, it's Ultimate Farrell, sorry. 24.570. So it's currently looking good for BHRL.
BHRL doing what they need to do at the moment with that front row lockout, and then it's the 2 CSR boys of Harry and Pez. But there's still 3 minutes left to go, and the cars will now beginning to get out on the track for their final runs of the session, or very soon anyway. We've got Snipes is on his outlap, and he is on the medium tyre. He's the only driver on the medium tyre.
He'll be looking for what, a mid 25, which should probably put him just outside the top 10, you'd think, Matt. I mean, maybe a few cars will improve. It's going to be a tall ask. Sam 29 on a lap. He's one of our hot prospects, I would say. He's very quick over one lap. Let's see what he's made of. He's coming into sector 3 now, and he's up.
29 now on the throttle then through the final sector. Just one corner to go on his lap. Picks his braking point and swoops into the bend. Back on the throttle as Homesick has gone into P2. What can Sam 29 do? DRS open, drives to the line, and it's P2 at 24.6. A tenth off of the pole time, but good stuff there to get himself onto the front row of the grid. And yeah, just like you were saying, I think anywhere from 7th to 10th, if you've done that on the softs, that's probably the worst place you could be. I'd rather be P11 than 7th to 10th on softs.
Here we go, the man, the myth, the legend, Snipes SB is going to kick us off with a tour of Bahrain on those medium tyres, heading down into turn 1, a small lock-up on that inside right, and there's going to be a lot of lock-ups as we head around this course. We're going to have the DRS open for the first time on this lap. As we head down to this hard braking, use as much of that exit curb as you can, and try and clip the entry, get on the power as early as you dare. Now we come to the real, where you have to thread the needle through these corners here and carry as much speed as possible through 6th gear. Hold it through there and break down into 1st gear. Get that extra rotation straight up to 3rd gear on the power, up the hill, and we come around to this tricky left-hander where it's very easy to lock a brake, and he does well to not lock the outside tyre that we saw in his soft lap earlier on. Got a car up ahead of us warming up his tyres as we come down the back straight. DRS in effect again in scenario 7. I'm going to come to this long looping left-hander, tips it down to 4th gear just to get the nose tucked in there and up through the power as we approach the curb of death. It's going to have to be a good lap for Snipes here, Matt. He's got a lot on the plate.
He is continuing to push on this one. Obviously not improving so far on his soft lap, but it's through the final sector where he'll make up that time, because it's of course here that he backed off his last run. Can he get himself then into the top 10 on the medium side to be the only driver on the mediums? We can't. It's a 26.0 and it's only P14. The Snipes SB, the championship leader in CSR Tier 1, has only managed to take 14th place.
That is pretty much it for our boy, isn't it? 47 seconds left. Who's
got Pez going for a lap? Other than that, I think we are done. It's up to everyone else to improve on what they can.
No pressure, Pez.
Drive for either. No pressure, Pez. We're probably going to be watching you. Come on, Pez. Big send. But his lap now. We're going to see what he can do to move himself up the grid. Currently P6 behind CSR Harry. He's looking to get up there with the BHRL boys. The DHL lads currently all in the bottom 8. It's not ideal for them. Yeah, we'll see what they can do on their final runs. A lot of them currently on outlaps. Is coming through to the end of sector 1, and let's see if he's improving. And he is 1.5 tenths up on his personal best. That's currently enough to put him on a level with CSR Harry. Got traffic ahead of him. That's going to get out of the way quite nicely. You'd love to see that. We do have Boom on an outlap, so I think we may have a timing glitch. Rich, I think they're maybe a bit longer in the session than we think. But Pez back on the DRS and driving towards the final sector.
Yeah, we'd love to see that. That means the boys will have a few more chances, a few more bites. The cherry. CSR Harry, we know he can definitely pull one out the bag. Boom can lag his way to victory, and Sam 29 is already on the cusp of a pole position, securing currently a front row position provisionally. And what has got in store as we come down the back straight, let's see if he's going to tow the cars behind as well for the subsequent lap or so. Here we go, last lap for Pez as he comes across the line. Still 6.
Holding that P6 then, and there's a bit where it's not nice from Cody because we don't actually know whether the session has ended yet or not, but I know we do have some of our drivers on a push lap now. CSR Boom is one of them. He's pushing through the first sector. And a lot of drivers all quite close together on the circuit. I don't know if they're trying to take some advantage out of a slipstream, or not. Not too sure on that one.
Yeah, difficult at the best of times to string a lap together, especially through sector 2. It's really going to bite you in the rear end. You're going to be getting that wash off the car ahead, losing a bit of downforce. Already quite low on the front wing around here. So will we see any more improvements in the final minute or so?
That's Snipes crossed the line, but he could not improve his position. He did improve his lap by just over a tenth, but remains P14. Not ideal for Snipes SB. We'll switch back over to CSR Boom though. It was 2 tenths up, I do believe, on his personal best as he's now firing towards the line. Was P9, goes P7, gets himself up onto the back of Harry and Pez. And that will be good enough for him.
Here comes Harry. Is he going to improve? Stays 5th.
I think we're all done. It's qualifying complete.
Snipes going again. Hot lap enabled. No, just rear-ended
definitely not.
If he was, he's not a happy man. P14 for Snipes.
Saw the DHL driver and was like, damn, I've had enough of you. There you go then. Qualifying complete, and it is BHRL who have taken the pole position with Ultimate Feral in the P1 slot, a 1:24.5. Then it's CSR's Sam29 taking the P2 on his eSport debut. Good stuff for Sam. It's Homesick, Drive for Eva, then Harry, Pez, and Boom for CSR. Norris, then it's DHL Webby, the lead car for DHL down in P9, not ideal for them. We got Igor, Virtue, Nick, Roger Bryan, Snipes, and Chance Mage to round off the grid, and the 2 times on the mediums, also the 2 slowest times of the session. Not ideal for them.
Yeah. Well, like we normally say, points are not dished out in qualifying, Matt, but on this occasion, slightly different, no?
That is correct. There will be 2 points awarded to the pole position time, and in this case, that will go to Team BHRL, so good stuff for them, having that 2-point advantage already, although the majority of the points are going to come from the following 29 laps. I ain't got a clue, Harv. Yes. We'll find out. I think it's 29. People in the chat, how many laps is it? 29 or 27?
Oh, I'm going 25 just to be awkward.
No, why would you do that, Rich? That is just poor from you.
That's poor. That's what I'm here for.
And already? That's a bit early, is it not? Roger Bryan has readied up.
Well, he's not hanging around. We're not hanging around. We're going to get this party started. Let's hope we have a formation lap before we get this one on the road. And yes, under the lights in Bahrain. A lot to do in the Grand Prix for our boys. They are going to be compromised by the strategy as well. Not the most ideal of qualifications for them, but it's all about having a good setup for the Grand Prix here and keeping it smooth, consistent and steady for the race.
It is 29 laps. I win, you lose.
Loser.
Let's check the strategy out then, Rich, because I can't help but feel we're going to get some variation.
Ooh. Snipes with a hard on. First time I've said that, I think. But yes, Snipes is going to start with a hard on in P14. He's feeling frisky tonight.
Yep, so of course all the top 10 drivers have to start on the tyre that they qualified on. So they're all on the softs outside the top 10 though. No one going for the softs. That's mediums for Virtue and Nick. And then Brian, Snipes and Mage all on the hards from the back. So they're going for the alternative strategy. I did just notice as well, Rich, them all pulling away from the grid. There's a lot of reds and yellows and oranges in this grid, isn't there?
Yeah. and they're just our Batmobiles on the grid as well, so easy to pick us out in the crowd. Well, not so much for the rest of those, but yeah, hoping for a good race today. Bahrain does throw up some good racing. Mix of strategy will help that as well. Let's hope we keep it clean. We only have 15 runners, of course, so yeah, let's hope they all finish to start with, because to finish first you must finish. And yeah, good luck to everyone involved, and especially those CSR boys. Ferrell is very eager to get on with business here. And who's your pre-race predictions? Let us know in the chat. I am going to go with a CSR Harry win.
I'm going to go for CSR Pez win and Snipes to come back and get a top 4 finish.
There you go. Matt, you will do the honours as always, but this is CSR, this is Esports, this is CSR versus BHRL versus DHL. Who will win with this 5v5v5? You're about to find out.
Here we go then, the final car is in position and we wait for the lights to come on ahead of the drivers for the Bahrain Grand Prix. We've got to wait an extra couple moments here because Cody's like to tease us. But it is lights out, and away we go, and it's a good start for Ultimate Farrell. Breezes away off the line and looks to lead us. There's a little bit of contact there between the BHRL lads and Sam29, the lead CSR car, as they all try and funnel their way through this very challenging first couple of corners. Very easy to get sideways, have a spin, and they all look to get through cleanly as there's a front wing flying in the background just as I said that. It is Ferrell who leads from Harry, who's had a good start. Then it's Home 6, Sam29, who's not Sam29 because there's collisions going on down at turn 4. Carnage here. Potentially some front wings flying. We may see some cars going into the pits at the end of this lap. But what a disappointing start for Sam29 as we've got Nick and Boom side by side now.
Yeah, getting a bit punchy early on in the Grand Prix. And it looked like maybe he tapped the rear end of the car ahead of him. Snipes now up to P13 and right up the gearbox of Igor. Really eager to get on with this ahead of Igor on those soft tyres. And you're already going to make a move down the back straight, up the inside. Here comes Snipes SB. Is he going to get in a position? They're going to bang wheels. And you're not going to get any positions for free today. There's no respect. You're going to have to earn it as you go along throughout this Grand Prix.
Car ahead of Snipes does have front wing damage. I don't know whether Snipes has any, if he was involved in any of that contact. But it's always on the cards here at Bahrain, isn't it? It's a very slow fast corner. And then turn 2, which you just pinched at the apex. Everyone tries to pinch it at the apex. And you often see those collisions. But it is Ultimate Farrell who leads them away as they start lap 2. And CSR Harry close in behind. We've got Pez looking at the back of driver Eva as 2 of the DHL lads swapping places. Not racing each other tonight, lads.
Sam has already boxed to get a fresh front wing, the first one of the evening. Very disappointed to see after such a great qualifying performance. And
Snipes.
Yep.
Down the inside at turn 4. He's gone up the inside of the BHRL driver. And he's put himself now into P12 as CSR Boom. And Virtue, I think, there was swapping places. I've just seen on the timing tower.
Oh, and he's gone off now, Igor. I think maybe just to let his teammate through. Jumped out of the way with that damage. He's held up Snipes for as long as he could. Snipes now on the back of the DHL boys. And he's going to have to get past them pretty quick. They're on the same strategy of him, of course, on those hard tyres.
Yeah, the hard tyre runners have made some decent progress off the start. Now running 10th, 11th and 12th. Good stuff for them. They're all just settling in now, single file. Use each other for that DRS where you can. I think Pez has just closed up to the back a little bit on drive for Eva. He used a bit of his overtake button there to close up, so he should be much closer on the straight. He's now in the slipstream. He's gaining all the time. That's the fastest lap of the race. Can he have a go into turn 1? We've got to watch as well because Harry was moving a lot in the slipstream up ahead. Don't think there'll be a move to the lead. And there's not one for third place at this time.
Norris going defensive on Webby. The DHL man, they're getting a bit twitchy off the apex. They're almost losing it like Mazepin. And in the background as well, Snipes having a ding-dong battle here. And he's really getting stuck in with these hard runners. He's already... Oh, look at this.
Oh, that was dangerous as they banged wheels again. Sorry, I started making noises there, Rich, because I got a bit scared for Snipes. He is on the inside, he's side by side, there's a third car!
He's off the track! Snipes has to run off out of the road and just get out the front. Oh, look at that, he almost gets taken out there as well. Oh my God, Mamma Mia! What are you doing here? Please, Roger.
It looked like Snipes was side by side with one car, and then another one just tried to get involved, and that's what's caused the collision there. I think Snipes potentially will have some wing damage from that. There was a big bit of contact. I know the car ahead of him has major damage now to his front wing. But boys, just keep it together. It's lap 3. We don't need to be going all out just yet.
Snipes
now does clear the car.
Yeah, Roger ABRC don't have damage and just try to hold him up as long as possible. One of them moves looked like he wanted to really wipe him out there. And that's not what you want to see. CSR Harry out front. Closing in on the leader, just half a second behind the race lead now. Pez in the hunt as well. So our two predictions are up there and doing pretty good. Boom as well, closing in on a position. They're down in P7, looking at the back of P6. And we've got Homesick and Mate swapping positions. Mage, sorry. Oh, yeah, here comes Harry. Oh, he's getting close. He's getting real close now. You can smell it.
Harry just piling on the pressure in these early stages. It'll be a fairly short stint on the subtitles. He's just missed the apex there, has Harry, and that's allowed driver Eva to close right onto the back of him. Harry maybe just going to have to use a bit of battery just to make sure he stays within DRS to the car ahead. That's going to be a crucial thing in these early stages. Just staying in the DRS range, conserving your battery a bit if you can. Just allow the guy ahead to drain a bit more than you.
Yeah, so a nice battle for the podium position so far. That's where the real meat is in terms of the points in this competition. It's the normal point scoring, first to 10th, with the extra 2 points for the fastest lap, which can be scored by any car outside the top 10. So if you've got nothing to lose come the end of the race, slap on a set of soft tyres and just do some qualifying laps.
Yeah, and I think we will see that at the end. I think anyone who's not looking like they're going to score some points by finishing in the top 10 will just box. They'll put some softs on and they'll go for the extra points for the fastest lap. And once again, I'm seeing them go defensive on the run to turn 1. It's because Harry is that much closer this time around. He's looked to the inside, but he just couldn't go late on the brakes enough. But he's going to set himself up to get the best launch off turn 2. He'll hit the overtake button again. He'll use the DRS to gain as they run up towards turn 4. It's like Verstappen and Hamilton all over again. Harry on the outside. It's the DHL car on the inside. Can he get this one done? No, he's just going to have to tuck in behind, surely going into the S's. And it's the BHL car of Ultimate Feral who just holds on in front.
And that's cost them a lot of time. Drive forever, and Pez are just there waiting for the opportunity. When the door is open, they're going to slam their foot in it and have a go for the lead of this race. I think Sam29's had a moment again. It's gone from bad to worse. He's now plumb last. And real sad to see one of the fastest drivers on the roster. And look at this, real defensive driving from Feral out front. He knows he's got a real race on his hands, but he's managing the ERS management pretty well. Harry is going for his life at the minute and driving superbly.
Yeah, these guys just got to remember that it's still early phases. You don't want to lose too much time battling each other. And more importantly for Harry, don't use too much battery trying to get this one done unless you know you're just going to be able to walk away with it. Because all that will happen is you'll get ahead and then you'll have nothing to defend yourself with the guy behind having the DRS. But I think Harry is going to go for it once again. And he's that much closer this time around. He's going to be forced to go to the outside. But he's ahead into the braking zone. And he is now into the race lead. We've got Ultimate Feral fighting him back on the inside. Gives him a little push. Harry will now surely just squeeze him out on the right to turn 3. And that is CSR Harry into the race lead.
Yeah, it looked like Feral just let off the brakes there and he just hit the back end. He's hit him off. He's off. And now it's Everett into the lead of the Grand Prix. Huge drama here. I think Harry lives to fight another day, but Feral has just really done himself over there because he's got wing damage, surely, Matt.
Yeah, he's got major wing damage as Ultimate Feral. There was no need for that. Just tuck him behind and wait for the main straight to come around again. You could see Harry was getting the D-rates on his battery. The light was flashing. No need to be doing silly things like that.
Oh, we can't laugh at that, but he's coming under pressure now. He's got Warby, one of the DHL guys, going to go the long way round, and it's going to be an easy dove there because he's just got no front right wing left. And Boom is the next one to pounce on Ferrell. He just needs to time it right because he's going to get a good exit out of the corner. Be careful not to lose your front wing there, Boom. And it's going to be a free position for you. He's already gaining. And here comes Boom time up into P5.
Next up then, in battle for the lead, version 2, it's CSR Pez. That's his drive for Eva. And Pez is gaining. He's gaining. Is he going to go to the inside? Yes, he is. Will he go late on the brakes? He's got the inside line. He's going to squeeze him out on the exit as they now come towards turn 2. Be careful if you're the one on the inside as Pez got a bit twitchy there. Gave a push to drive for Eva. He's just going to allow the BHRL car back past there. May have been a bit of a dirty move had he got that done with the contact. So it just allows that one as DHL Webby now ahead of CSR Boom in the fight for P4.
Yeah, I've got to say maximum respect to Pez there. He could have easily squeezed drive for Eva. He really didn't need to leave his nose in there in turn 2. He did. Pez respected it, gave him the room, and Eva got back in the fight.
Pez knows he can afford just to wait and go again. Plenty of time left in this one. We're on lap 7 as BHRL. Igor has had an off at turn 2. That's actually coming out turn 1, more on the entry to turn 2. He's made the barriers, I do believe, and may have to make another trip to pit lane.
Pez gaining all the time on the leader. You can't take your eyes off this battle out front, but Snipes now up to P9. We've had a few cars in the box so far in this Grand Prix. And when's the real ideal time for the undercut for the one stop, Matt?
For these guys starting on the soft, it's very soon. Very, very soon. These tyres will be well past the sell-by date. The guys on the mediums will have the advantage now, but here comes CSR Pez. He's closer this time, and he's further ahead going into the braking zone. Puts himself into the race lead. We'll see how much he's going to squeeze on this time at turn 2.
Oh, a bit more.
As he now gets on the throttle better, and he puts himself past into the lead. But it's Eva, who will now have the DRS as they come up towards turn 4. It's like once again Verstappen and Hamilton. Who's going to win out in this little battle? Pez will surely just squeeze on the exit. Chooses not to do so, and it doesn't matter because he's got the place anyway. And that's CSR Pez into the lead at the Bahrain Grand Prix.
What a move, what a driver, what respectful racing we're seeing at the front of the order here. They've both absolutely emptied the tank in terms of ERS management, and credit to him as well. CSR Harry just sitting back there. He's got front row tickets to this absolute rumble in the jungle here, or should we say the jewel in the desert out front in the lead of this one.
Yeah, it's not jungle, Rich. No trees in sight, apart from the few you find in the middle of this one.
Snipes on the back of Chance Mage, looking to get this position done, and that is the battle for P8 and the battle in terms of the lead hard runner in this Grand Prix. Chance Mage going a bit deep into the corner there, and that's going to cost him a bit of time. I think Snipes is going to get this one done on the next start-finish straight.
Yeah, he'll just wait for that long DRS straight. He can use the advantage, and DHL Webby and Boom keep swapping places. They don't actually, it's just the lag, and we're getting a lot of soft runners going to pit lane.
No, Pez Harry
out.
In the box.
So hope we don't see a double stack. Of course, that is the downside of using these multiplayer cars. It's very easy to get the double stack. Snipes speed does get past Mage. Good stuff there for Snipes. He's now up to P4. Of course, yet to make his stop. Harry ahead of Pez in the pits. How's that happened? Has been held.
Yeah, well, the real tricky thing when it comes to multiplayer cars, you never know who you share in a box with, Matt. Okay, you've got 20 boxes down in the garage there. But yeah, I think it's just a random draw, maybe first come, first serve in terms of who shares what box number 1, 2, etc. But it's always a bit of a lottery in terms of who you're going to pair up with. So you don't know if someone's going to be there waiting in your spot when you come in the pits.
Yeah, absolutely. It's Harry then, who's now the lead runner of those who have pitted. Sorry, is that Norris actually? Who's the lead of those pitted? He's on mediums, but he's on a 2-stop, I do believe. So we'll have to pit once again. So then Harry's the lead car of those going to the end.
Yeah, interesting to see Webby going on to those medium tyres. He's really going to cause Pez a problem. I'll probably slow him down. Pez doesn't need to battle him too hard because I'm sure they just need to manage these tyres and caress them to the finish.
Drive for Eva has entered pit lane, the last of the soft runners to make the stop, and we're going to assume it'll be for hard tyres, and it is now. Let's see where he comes out in comparison to Harry and Pez. CSR Harry, currently P7, comes through the final corner now and is onto the main straight. Can he get ahead of Eva, and can Pez get ahead as well? Going to be close on the pit exit, coming up to it now, and they have both gotten out ahead. It is Harry, then Pez, and then Drive for Eva, and that means Harry is in the net race lead with his teammate right up behind him.
That's nice because they've got a bit of a buffer now to that medium run of Webby. So if Webby's going to pose any threat, it's going to be to that man ahead who's struggling so far. And talking of which, Drive for Eva picks up a penalty. Even better for the boys.
Meanwhile, we got Sam and Brian battling. Sam now into P13 on his 7-lap-old medium tyres. Will be pitting once again. He's hoping for a safety car in this one, and that's another thing with the reduced sort of grid size. There's less cars to go off and hit a barrier and bring you a safety car.
The laps are absolutely flying on by. We're on lap 10 of 29 here in the BAHRAIN International Circuit of this CSR Esports event. It's CSR versus BHRL versus DHL. And so far, it's looking pretty good for the lads. We've got one guy on the alternate strap, which is Snipes SB, yet to make his pit stop. Got a couple of guys out front, which are the DHL lot, yet to make a stop so far in this Grand Prix. And then we've got our net race leaders of CSR Harry and CSR Pez, who have boxed, gone on to those harder tyres, and should be clear to the end of the Grand Prix, we hope.
Comes Webby in the slipstream of Eva. Webby really needs to make up these places for DHL. Of course, being on that alternative two-stop strategy, you cannot afford to be held up by those on the one-stop, because not only has he got to pass these guys here, he's then got to pit again, close up the gap, and pass them all over again, which is going to be very tough to do with just 19 laps to go.
Yeah, I think Harry and Pez really need to start playing the game now in terms of, managing the pace out front. Maybe Harry takes the lead for 5 laps, then passes it over to Pez. They really need to start recouping some of that energy and to start to really stretch the pace towards the end of this Grand Prix if they really want to break away from the likes of Eva. I know he's got a penalty, they can easily pick one up towards the end of this one. But yeah, the team strap will be vitally important.
Yeah, that is a key one here. We need to work as a team. This is a team event. So we'll hope to see that as Webby picks up a 3-second penalty. That is not going to help him on his two-stop strategy. Really couldn't be affording to make any little mistakes like that. I don't think he'll be the last one to pick up a penalty this afternoon. But, we will see. He's got a good launch though, the last corner.
Into the last corner, and that's allowed Webby on the button out the last corner. Gets the traction as well. It's going to be a pretty slam dunk move. He's going to have to be careful not to break too late because Pez is up ahead of him as well. Down into turn 1. Oh, a bit of a lock up there. Should get on the power nicely and have the traction advantage as well out the corner. And so he does.
Webby up to P8. And we'll now look to get after CSR Harry and CSR Pez. Now the CSR boys, I know they've got Maitland sort of engineering for them. He should be telling them now that Webby is not who we're racing today. If he goes for the move, don't fight it, just let him go. He is not who we are concerned about today.
Yeah, he's a big risk at this point in the race. LSR Norris, it's going to be interesting what we see him do. What are we going to expect him to go on to another set of softs map late on?
I'm guessing that's what he would hope to do. I know the default two-stop here is a soft medium. The soft tyre is a track where the soft tyre really does fade away quite quickly. You can manage about 8 laps on them, really pushing, and that's about it. And we've now got Boom ahead of home. Every time Boom swaps positions, I don't know if he's made a move or if he's just lagged behind for a split second or something.
Here comes Snipes down the start finish straight. He's got EP Nick in his sights. He's ready to attack. He's got the DRS, he's got the ERS, and he's going to have the inside lounge down into one. He's on those harder tyres, the same tyre life. The mediums are going to be giving up the go, and EP Nick's going to try and hang on in there, but it's going to be fighting in vain as Snipes slips on by and moves himself up into P2. The top 4 yet to box, remember.
Yeah, good stuff for Snipes after being involved in a few collisions early on. From what we saw, not his fault, but he's looking to make that decent recovery drive on his alternative strategy. He's just going to take that set of tyres far into this race. I don't know, I assume he'll put on a set of mediums. I think the hard medium is the better way to go than a hard soft, and he'll be the one on the charge in the late stages compared to those with worn tyres ahead of him.
So just catching up on the chat, Millsy saying Snipes looking in good shape so far. Harry saying going to be interesting where Snipes comes out after he stops. And we also got Harry West saying Booms can play a big part in this race.
Yeah, he might, you know, drag race someone to the line and beat them on penalties, for example. Yes, our Boom just doing his thing, just sort of managing that one as I say that, as he... I think he's just having a bit of lag moment there. Yep, ideal. Brilliant. Love that for you and your Tesco Wi-Fi. As EP Nick pulls into pit lane.
So
Taking those tyres far, hasn't he?
Pulled the trigger. And what tyre is he going to go on to now? As Boom's going to have to go defensive. Down the inside comes Homesick. Italy, he's gone very deep there. And that was a bit of a dive bomb if I've ever seen one. Boom's going to have the chance to attack him once more. I think he's going to just sit back there. Car ahead does have a penalty, of course. And on those medium tyres, can he take it to the end of the Grand Prix? I highly doubt so. Boom should have the advantage late on.
Yes, indeed he should. He can continue to lag his way through the field as I thought he was about to take out Homesick there. But no, he's just having another moment of lag.
Don't know what you're on about, Matt. He looks smooth, steady and consistent out there. And up front we're going to have a change of position. We've got LSR, Norris and Chance swapping positions now. That's Norris up into P3. And Mage yet to stop. And he's been passed by Norris, who has already boxed, gone onto those medium tyres. We don't expect him to be able to see the race out on them tyres, but yeah, he knew he had to get the move on, and he's done it nicely. Snipes in P2, 4.2 seconds behind the leader, who's now actually boxed off those medium tyres. And let's see what he goes on to.
It's going to have to be a set of hards, isn't it? Of course, Virtue not to make his pit stop yet, and he couldn't put a set of softs on to go to the end.
Going to chance to move up the inside. Oh, they touch wheels. A bit of oversteer there for Chance, and this is going to allow Harry and Co to really close up on this battle now. And they're still battling, they're still going defensive right up the inside. Norris has got the inside line, he's going to squeeze him over that curb, surely. And Chance just slips back into P3.
Really allowed Harry and Pez to close up to these two now. Of course, the car ahead of Harry yet to make a pit stop. Harry's on much fresher hard tyres and will not want to be held up too much by the car ahead. Of course, doesn't need to make any silly kind of sense because the car ahead's still going to pit one more time. But let's see then, what does Harry do?
Here comes
for
Harry.
It already.
He's going to
on
get
the
it.
run to turn 11. Good stuff for Harry. Already got that one done. Love to see it.
He took a chance on Chance, and boy did he send it. Chance really struggling now. 14 laps on those hard tyres, starting to give up the go.
Let's see then, what does Harry do? Comes Pez down the inside on the run up towards the final corner. That's Pez up now into P4.
It looks like Webby wants a piece of the action as well. He's all over the back of him, and Chance is going to box. Or is he? No, he's just going to try and get out the toe.
He's just letting his teammate through there of Webby, but he's done it in a really awkward position, and that's now going to allow Driver either to have a go at him straight away. Has nearly goes into the back of DHL Webby. Now either gets on the throttle and gets the position up into P6 as he now drives up the hill there. But yeah, Chance Mage just getting out the way for his teammate, and it nearly backfired on him.
Real close action here in the mid-pack and some great racing on display. What do you make of it so far, Hal, if you're there?
Yeah, mate, doing a good job so far. I mean, Snipes has done well on the strategy. Let's just hope he can keep it together. It's going to be quick on them sus at the end.
Homesick and Chance going for it, and Chance off the circuit now.
Good to see our boys haven't got any penalties yet. It's always positive.
It's boom time. Down the back straight. Here he comes.
So Boom passes. Chance Mage puts himself up into P8, and he can now have a look at the guys ahead of him. Chance Mage yet to make his pit stop and is just falling back through the field. Is going to need to get a real push on at the end of this one if he wants any chance of bringing himself back into this race.
Expect to see Snipes in the pits anytime soon. And we've got Harry all over the back of Norris. He's really harrying him into a mistake as they come out the last corner. Norris is going to go super defensive up against the pit wall. He's weaving left, right, centre, but it's in vain because Harry's going to fly on by down into turn one.
So Pez. Pez has done him as well, look.
Or has he? He's got it done.
Oh, they're going to go side by side on the exit. Pez left just enough room there and does a good job to capitalise. Harry went past and then Pez just followed him through. Both drivers using a lot of VRS though, I did notice. Both going to be struggling now. Just need to conserve some of that battery once again for later on in this race.
Oh, there's contact further back though, and Webby's got some damage, and there's going to be a multiple incident. We've got 3-4 cars involved there. They're still pointing the right way, but we've got some debris flying off the cars there, and that's going to be costing them time.
Homesick, I've seen with front wing damage, I do believe. It might be someone else, they all look the same. Yeah, Boom in there as well now, looking to maybe capitalise as we've got two cars side by side. It's Homesick and Webby going through turn 11. Who's going to get the throttle down best? Coming up the hill towards the curb of death. Be careful here, boys. Very easy to get loose and have a spin. They're going to go side by side, still through the final sector now. It's Webby who looks like he'll get this one done, or will he? Because they're still side by side. Stop touching, you're on a straight, you don't need to do that.
This is a boxing match. This is not a race. They're trading blows and they're getting into the last corner. They're leaving paint on each other, and here comes Boom, the guy who's just taken advantage of all this, and he's going to get another position as they come down to turn one. Surely he's going to send it. We've got the ERS already flashing on the car ahead. Boom now up into P5.
Unbelievable, Jeff. Yeah, several cars coming to the pits, one of which is your old race leader. Snipes SB makes his one and only pit stop of the afternoon, puts on the fresh medium tyres, and he is now going to be pushing on to the guys ahead. 4.5 seconds to the next car. We'll see what he can do.
Don't know about you, Matt, but fantastic action so far. I'm really enjoying this one.
Yeah, it's been a thrilling race so far, and we've still got 9 laps to go here. It's BHRL, Igor and Brian side by side for the minor positions. And that is Brian who's going to win out on this battle and put himself into P13. Igor looking to come back, but without the DRS, won't be able to do much into turn 4. Oh, a little bit of a wobble there for Webby. Did I just see? And that's allowed Boom to close up a little bit. I think he'd be too far back to make a move though.
Yeah, we've seen the mediums go around 13, 14 laps. They're really going to be struggling anywhere after around 11 laps you'd expect in terms of pace. Webby, they should be pretty much in their prime at the minute, but he's pushing so hard to stay with Norris at this moment. Talking of Norris, he's in the box, and Webby followed him almost into the box, trying to get that slipstream down into turn 1. Boom's just going to play it safe, try and get a good exit out of T1 here, and get the launch up towards T. Norris onto the softs.
See what Boom can do, because he's going to go for it on the outside at turn 4. Maybe try the over and under. Get the better traction on the exit if you can. Not on this occasion for CSR Boom. He'll hold on to P4 for now.
Further down the order, we've got Chance and who's this? Homesick having a go at it. Big ding dong battle there. Both on the same strategy. So both hold position for the time being. And so far in CSR 1, 2, 4, 7 and 14. Expect Snipes to really start making up some ground now. 2.3 seconds the gap to the car ahead, which is Virtue R6S, and he's on those hard tyres, so Snipes should be taking huge chunks out of him. We've got Webby as well with a penalty further up the field. Talking of penalties, Webby on 3, as well as Homesick, Eva, and then we've got Igor and Rajal both on 6 seconds.
Snipes setting the fastest lap of the race on his charge up to Virtue, the gap down to 1.8 seconds. And yeah, now that Drive for Eva boxed off his hard tyres to go for another set of mediums, I think he must have had damage in there. Webby having to pit again, we assume. It is effectively a CSR 1-2-3 right now. Good stuff from the boys.
Yeah, they just need to manage the pace now, and especially Harry and Pez. Have a little check-in, mate, on terms of their energy management at the moment. And make sure they're not pushing themselves too hard.
Yeah, they're doing alright for now. I think both around about that 30% mark. Heads a little bit higher on 40%. Of course, he's getting the DRS, doesn't have to use as much battery to maintain the same pace. And it's about maybe, like what you were saying earlier, maybe just doing a few laps where Harry's in front, swapping over, letting Pez lead the train for a little bit, just to sort of make sure that neither car has to use too much deployment. Although for the time being, they're not really experiencing any threat from the car behind. They can just maintain focus. Snipes SB looking to get in the RS range of the car ahead. He's going to be just outside of that, going onto the main straight.
And it's boom time! Here he comes. This is boom, he's going to get squeezed to the outside. He's going to try and brake late and deep and get the inside to the next corner. Oh, gets chopped off almost there. Yeah,
Front wings nearly went flying there. He's still gaining as they run up the hill. Can he go for it on the outside at turn 4 to get past Webby to clear the car ahead? Not on this occasion, as to tuck him behind.
Yeah, he clearly doesn't trust him at this point to try and go around the outside there. He just knows the door is going to be slammed shut. And it's going to be good night, boom. So, good decision there.
Just playing it calm, playing it safe now. CSR Boom doing exactly what he needs to do. Just manage the pace, manage the race, and all should be well. They're saying that Ultimate Feral just starting to close up onto ahead of him. That's Boom and Webby. You don't want to lose too much time to these guys.
Yeah, I think we've got to get it done this lap. We've got to go full send, Boom. If it's scenario 7, push and hold, overtake out next corner for 2 seconds. Engage rich modes on the engine, and as Harry points out in the chat, let's watch out for any dodgy safety car incidents as well. Don't want to see anyone sacrificing themselves for the greater good. Boom, not with the best launch, but the car ahead does have a D rate already. And Boom, he's got the DRS, he's gaining, he's gaining. Car ahead's going to hold that inside line. Boom's going to look for the switchback this time. Not a bad shout, try and gather the momentum. Push through to the car ahead, a little snap of oversteer, but we just got to be careful of this guy behind us. Feral is really going to become a pain.
Snipes having a go at the moment as well for P6, and he does put himself past into 6th place. Good stuff for Snipes, lovely move there, a couple of switchbacks, and he's put himself up into P6. Now get after the guy ahead of Ultimate Feral.
Can we give a shout out to CSR Vito, who's currently sitting in 9th position? Come on,
Vito. Go on.
Big up the man, CSR Vito.
Boom. Look at him. He's late move there. Defensive for Webby, but Boom's still going for it on the inside through turn 11. Choosing a different opportunity to try and get this one done. And they're now going to go up the hill past the curb of death I know there's some lag in there, but don't touch, boys. It's just not necessary.
Boom getting squeezed
Back
out
to
off
Ferrell.
the apex there. Look at Ferrell. Boom's used absolutely everything out the tank. It's going to be a sitting duck. We've got a yellow flag. Sam 29's retired. Where's that? What's that? VSC. Thank God for that VSC. Oh.
It's okay, Rich. We're still in the good here. We did not need a safety car right now.
Someone get the defibrillator out. Richie's nearly having a heart attack.
Richie! Are you still
breathing,
there?
I'm still breathing. As we got Webby in the box. On the VSC, not a bad shout. Back to racing conditions. Green flag. Oh.
Just take a breather, Rich. I've got it from here. Don't you worry. All under control, my good friend. Yeah, Webby making his final pit stop under the VSC, just saving himself a bit of time there. He's down to P10 on soft tyres though, so he'll be going for a big push to the end. That's also now released Boom up into P3. He's going to watch out for Ferrell behind him, who's got a lot more battery saved up. I do believe it was Ferrell who caused the incident earlier at turn 4 as well, so maybe just watch out for him, shall we say.
Yeah, watch out for him because maybe a penalty or so coming his way. I think that will be coming in the scheme of points for his team from any esports events that I've known of in the past. That yeah, any penalties do come in the way of points generally for that team in question. Lap 23 of 29, not long to go. Boom, you need to start managing your battery and yeah, be careful. He's already down to 8%. He's not even on the start-finish straight. The car behind will know that when he sees that light flashing. So you don't want that light to flash, map. I don't like to get it below 15%, just as a general rule of thumb, because that just gives him the green light. And here comes Ferrell up the inside. Maybe Boom's just going to tuck in behind, gather some momentum now.
Yeah, he knows he doesn't need to fight that one. The penalty should be coming to Ferrell post-race. Boom perhaps deciding he'll just use the DRS for a little bit, just to help him save his battery, and maybe if he feels like it, have a go in that final couple of laps. Drive for even now ahead of Mage. That was an easy move down the main straight.
I think that'd be the wise thing to do. He's got two lap younger tyres on that CSR Boom car. Let's just build it back up to around 50%. Maybe on the penultimate lap we start pushing and we go ham, you know.
Yeah, just doing all he needs to do for the time being. We'll be already onto the back of Nick in the fight for P9. That should be a simple position swap for those two. Webby very easily clears his teammate. Will now look to try and, if he can, get onto the back of Homesick in the fight for P8.
Still keeping an eye on Mr. Snipes. He was around 6 seconds behind this battle. Gap now 3.2 seconds. It'll be harder every lap he goes round on those medium tyres. It'll be deteriorating, degrading a lot quicker than those hard tyres out front, but a lot younger tyre at the same time.
Yeah, just doing his best right now. Snipes obviously coming from the back of the grid, went for the alternative strategy. Didn't have the easiest start to the race. A lot of carnage in the background we did see. But he's doing well, currently P5, which potentially could turn into a P4 if Ferrell does indeed get a post-race penalty.
Yeah, Harry West in the chat. Let's not have any more talk about that, please. Yeah, because
Might get accused of something.
yeah. He's placed some bets, mate, pre-race. He's got the inside and info. You're gonna go down on lap 23. That was the talk.
I heard he's friends with Putin.
Rumour has it. Boom. Yeah, Boom has saved a lot of battery in these last couple of laps. He's now up to being about the same as Ultimate Ferrell. He's still in that DRS range, and he may be thinking about getting that move done in those final couple of laps, like I said. Snipes still closing up onto the back of them as well now. The gap 1.9 seconds.
By the way, boys, if you're on the stream, make sure you follow this channel, okay? Because there's going to be plenty more content coming your way. Over the next 5 weeks or so, there's going to be more events just like this coming your way. So make sure you follow to the channel to keep up to date whenever we go live. And hopefully me and Matt can jump back in the booth for some more epic battles with the CSR boys out on track. But Snipes really closing in now. 1.5 seconds the gap. Make that 1.4, 1.3. As these boys start to battle out front, Snipes is going to be there, ready to pounce when we come round to start lap 27 of this CSR Esports event.
It's going to be an interesting one. Do Boom and Snipe swap places, or does Boom maybe want to think about getting the move done soon?
I think you're going to have to let Snipes have a go at him. You know, Snipes, a lot younger tyres, slightly worse off in terms of the ERS. He's been doing that though to make up the ground, but he'll be in a better position, I'd say, to have a go at Feral. Maybe get some payback for the boys as well.
Yeah, we'll see. I think Boom might be letting him go here. He's just pulled over quite a lot to the right side of the circuit. I think he is. Snipes is going to be released into P4. Boom choosing to let him go, playing the team game, and that's nice to see. And Boom may now be able to capitalise on a Snipes making an attempt at Feral.
He'll be able to give him that inside knowledge. I'm going to squeeze him on the exit of this corner. Be ready. Get a good exit. And he's all yours. So far, Snipes up 10 positions. Harry and Pez up 4. We've got Virtue up 5 positions. And the real losers, of course, Sam has retired from the session from the CSR boys. So only 4 representatives from the lads. Snipes all over the gearbox. He's got the rear wing pretty much inserted into that diffuser of the car ahead. And he just really harried him. This is what Snipes does best. He really applies the pressure. And he just pushes you into a mistake. Not literally, but mentally.
Snipes on the better line, and
oh, Feral had a moment.
Yeah, a big moment there. Did Feral on the inside? He's got a puncher. That's what's happened. Front left. And BHRL's lead driver.
He's got to be careful, mate.
Yeah.
Front left.
You gotta be careful. Boom's now back into P3. I don't know if the Snipes got damage. It shouldn't cost him. In theory, Virtue, the car behind. 2.4 seconds. It was a big hit, wasn't it? I'd be very surprised if there wasn't any damage. I'm gonna monitor him the next few corners as well. Yeah, me too. Yeah, just monitor the gap between Boom and Snipes. Currently 1.4. We'll see how it changes, and from that we can gauge if there's any damage on Snipes' car.
Okay, boys, this is James. We need to back off the pace. This is critical. We need to win the race. We need to win the race. It's multi 1, 2, 3, 4.
Don't use the multi technique, because it just it's going to end up in someone making a send and then saying, "I didn't understand. I don't know what that means."
Just came back on the circuit like an idiot.
He's having a go. He's having a go. He's hit Norris. Oh,
Ready.
that's sad to see. Norris will not be happy.
All kicking off here. In the midfield battle, DHL driver punting there. A BHRL driver. Not what you want to see. Snipes picks up a 3-second time penalty.
And that's critical if we want to hold on to the top 4 positions. Virtue only 2.5 seconds now behind Mr. Snipes SB on a set of hard tyres, and we've got a yellow flag. What's going on, Matt? You see anything?
Someone coming up the pits, maybe?
Maybe
I
Igor.
think just chill. So Snipes, we are going to push this lap. Yeah, Boom letting him go. Look, he knows what they need to do.
Yeah, good stuff, boys.
Snipes will now push on. What they could always do is, if they really wanted to, let Boom just drop back and just, hold him up a little bit, hold up Virtue. I think in these early phases of the tournament, we don't need to resort to anything like that. We'll make a few more friends than enemies this early on. Don't need too many people completely against us, and we're looking good so far for a 1-2-3-4 finish in this opening round.
Snipes will have the pace. If anything, you would really want Pez to maybe back up and tow Snipes along to potentially a P4 finish. The danger of Boom starting to back up is that it will be falling into the clutches of giving Virtue an actual tow himself. So I would advise against that strongly.
Well, it's going to be close between them. We've got Yellows in sector 2. Who's that? Who's gone? I think that's Webby who's made a mistake. He's lost places, but it is Harry who wins the BAHRAIN Grand Prix. It's a Pez P2. Snipes is going to cross the line in P3. He'll drop to P4. We'll see if he drops down one more. Boom takes P3. Snipes by 33 thousandths of a second holds on for P4. And it is CSR in Ps 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Let's go.
The DHL P5. And then it's the BHRL cars of Homesick, Norris, and Drive for Eva in 6, 7, and 8. Mage crosses the line P9, Nick P10, and then Ultimate Feral crosses the line for the fastest lap of the race in P11. Webby crosses in P12, and Brian will be the final one to finish this race.
CSR boys, take it! Yes, lads, what a race, what a result! I mean, it didn't look in qualifying, did it, lads? But my God, did they deliver? Unlucky to say I'm 29, our highest qualifier. He did not finish the race. Really unlucky to get caught up in that early incident. But my God, did those boys put up one hell of a battle. And dare I say, do we want to pick a driver of the day or just pick a team of the day? What do we think? Let us know, boys.
Gonna have to be that team of the day, isn't it? What a performance for the CSR guys coming through to take that P1, 2, 3, 4. I think from our pre-race predictions, Rich, did you go for a CSR Harry win?
I did indeed. That man is smooth, steady, consistent, and penalty free. And my God, what pace! Respect to Pez as well. Played the team game. I'm sure he could have gone for the dub. He was your pick as well.
We've got Snipes I predicted for a top 4 as well. Where did he end up? P4. I think that's a job well done on not doing a commentator's curse for once. Yeah, good stuff from the boys. And by the looks of it, someone didn't get the memo on the team race suits, did they? Pez has got a bit confused.
He does what he wants. And he's definitely tripping on acid if that's what he's put on before he got into the car today. My God, what an interesting race suit that one is. But he done the talking on track. And well, yeah. Any thoughts on that one, Harv?
Great result. How many more legs is there? All rounds.
For the group stage of this tournament, we got 3 more rounds, and then fingers crossed we will be progressing into the knockout stage. But what a way to kick off the tournament. The guys coming from, not from the front of the grid, but they had that consistency, and they brought it home. 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's a shame for Sam, the only DNF of the race, but he's a fast driver. He will be back, and he will be stronger than ever.
Yeah, very unlucky.
Great race, boys. Great race. Got a big smile on my face. Very proud to be part of this community. Seeing ourselves go up against these boys for the first time ever in a, shall we say, a professional fixture. And by golly, did they deliver.
You love to see it, and wasn't an easy race for the boys either. A lot of carnage in and around that race, but they got through it well. They got through cleanly, and they brought home the big result. Well done. I don't know if we're going to get any of them in the party.
We can try to.
We see. I'll send a few of them the invites. Oh, I was about to, and then the results thing disappeared.
We've invited Harry anyway. But just to keep you updated, this time next week we'll be heading to Spa-Francorchamps in Belgium on April the 16th on the Friday evening, and the fixture will be TTM versus CSR versus TRT. The following week after that on the Friday will be Australia, and that will be the 23rd of April, and you will see CSR up against QBR and FRA Academy. Then we head into round 4 of Austria on April the 30th. You're going to see ABE versus CSR versus FGE, and then all goes well and we progress, then it will be heading into stage 2, the semi-finals. 6 teams with the most points we will go through, and that will be of the USA on May the 7th, and it'll be 1 versus 2 versus 3 in terms of those who scored the most points, and 4th versus 5th versus 6th. And then we'll head into Italy for the other fixture, Russia for the second semi, and then the final will be held at Mexico on May the 28th. We got anyone in the party, Matthew?
We've got a few of them have signed up. Do you just want to make sure you got your audio included? And we've got 3 of them here. We'll run through. Starting off, CSR Harry, are you there?
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Harry. First of all, big congrats on the W. Talk us through your race. How did that go for you?
Well, I mean, quali didn't go exactly how I wanted it. I kept messing up a couple of my qualifying laps, so didn't start exactly how I wanted it, but I got a pretty sick start. I hopped like 3 people off the start to second, and then managed to overtake the lead, and then just sort of led the race from there with Pez.
Yeah, it was really solid stuff from you in there. Very good job. I know we've got 3 in here, so we'll move swiftly on to our next one. Let's go for CSR Boom, the lag man himself. Are you there? You good? Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm here.
Alright, it was I'll say a fairly quiet race for you and a lot of that, but you kept it calm, you kept it consistent, you fought your way through and ended up with a P3. Tell us how that happened.
Well, in qualifying it started off poorly. I done 2 bad laps, and then final lap I gave all I got a nice P7 right in the midfield. Then lap 1 there was a big incident at the front, so a couple cars overtook me, but I didn't really lose anything because of the positions gained from crashed cars. Then there was a couple people just going on the wrong strategy, took advantage of that. Then I had a bit of tyre issues at the end, so it was a lean mix for the last 5 laps, just trying to save the tyres. Then ended up getting a podium from it.
You absolutely love to see it. And then we'll make a once again swift move across to the engineer, I do believe, of that race, CSR Maitland. You weren't racing, so I don't actually have any questions for you, but you got a couple words you want to give after that?
Yeah, the boys put an absolute shift in. A few things went our way, a few things didn't. I know Sam and Snipes got caught up in incidents very early on. Snipes near damage until lap 15, 16, which is pretty incredible. And then he obviously managed to catch up to Boom and Ferrell, and then finishing P4 on Pens. But the boys just put an absolute shift in, really. On fault any of them, really. Very well spoken, very good teamwork as well between the guys, and yeah, it was just a perfect performance.
I'll hand over then to CSR Skills for the final words.
So yeah, team principal of CSR Esports, Mr. Smeglen, who do you think will be your stiffest competition in the forthcoming fixtures?
I think our hardest team to face will be either FRA Academy, because I know they've got a signing inbound, which a lot of us know, and they've also just got a very, very solid team full of absolute sweaty TT merchants. But yeah, I think that will be a very hard opponent for us. You've obviously got QBR as well. We've got some very talented unknown drivers who are looking to make a name for themselves. So I'm looking forward to facing those, and TTM as well.
Yeah, and massive credit goes to Mr. Maitland for putting a lot of time and effort into putting this squad of drivers together, and also giving rotation, giving a lot of drivers their opportunity. So make sure you join us for the next round, which is it Australia, Sam, next week?
It is Spa next week.
Yeah, Spa, sorry. Yeah, make sure you're tuned in. Make sure you follow this channel so you catch up to date with all the content, and when we go live next week on Friday 8 p.m. to see CSR go to battle once again. Thanks for tuning in. I've been CSR Skills. We've had the big Matthew Quannabeer in the house, and big thanks to Harv. Any final words from you, Hal?
Let's see his dog voice. They just don't leave any space, man.
A trademark